Hey, it's been beautiful weather for a while, warm and windy, and the ground is the perfect conditions for doing tractor work. This is a really unusually long window of great conditions in March. But it's going to rain a bit tomorrow, and so that means that today is the day to get some tractor work done. About 30 pounds of bolts arrived in the mail yesterday, and so I was able to set up some of that equipment, and today I can finally try it out. But right now I'm using the big disc to get rid of this old salad mix. It's a bit of an oversight on my part. This is going to be cabbage here in a week or so, and this is the salad mix. It's the same family, and I don't want to attract any bugs to these nice plants that are going to walk over and eat the cabbage. In fact, these seed stalks actually are delicious. I really did eat them for dinner last night. Sort of a shame that I got to kill them now, but today's their day. Well, honestly, that didn't do quite what I was hoping for. It's left a bunch of these gnats here, but it's pretty rooty, and I don't know. Who knows? Maybe that wasn't the right tool for the job, but it'll be fine. I think I'll run the light disc through here just to stir it up a bit more. Well, sure, it's an improvement. Lots of things are gonna die. I guess that's fine. Guess what's in here? 1,500 pounds of potatoes. I went up to Martin's again yesterday in Pennsylvania to pick up all the seed potatoes. They're in the truck now where it's warmer than outside, so they can start to sprout. You know, if you leave potatoes on the kitchen counter, they'll start to put up shoots from the eyes. So that's what I actually want, so that they get a bit of a head start before putting them in the ground. And these have a little bit of greenery coming, but not a whole lot. So by being in the warmth here, that lets the potatoes know that it's spring and it's time to get going. So that was chieftain. This is something else, I'm not even sure. But they are a little bit further along here. Yeah, these have got to be red Norland, small and red. Nothing happening there yet. And for anybody who's grown potatoes before, you know, you usually get a big potato and you cut it up and you make sure there's some number of eyes on every piece, and then you put them in the ground. Well, it turns out you can buy B-size potatoes, which are graded smaller, so you don't have to cut them. You just put the whole little potato in the ground. I mean, that just saves a lot of work. So once I figured that out, I never went back to cutting. Some people will set the potatoes out of the bags in the light somewhere so that they'll make these sort of hard shoots. That makes them probably a better plant, but it takes a lot of space for this many potatoes to get them all, exposed to the light. So I don't do that anymore. I find that leaving them inside the bags just as they are, to let them sprout a little bit and begin to grow, that does well enough. And I mean, plenty of people just put the potatoes in the ground just straight out of the bag. So if anything, it's got to be some sort of advantage. Well, this is going to be planted in potatoes a couple of weeks from now, and it's time to do a second pass with the cultivator. I've got it cut down to size, and I found this leveling bar in the weeds. I'll put that on. Let's see if it can level out these ridges that are left behind. That was pretty cool. I wouldn't say it was perfectly level, but certainly good enough. Put this together over the winter, and this will be the first time I'm trying it. I'm pretty sure it's going to work, but you never know. You never know until you try it. This is a track cultivator. You can see it's got a couple of shanks behind each of the tires to kill weeds in the wheel tracks. If you remember from a little bit ago, the garlic up there looks great, but the way you can tell is that the wheel tracks are covered in weeds in comparison, which is the perfect opportunity to test this thing out and see if it's going to work. The big equipment on the big red tractor, I mean, running that's pretty exciting, I suppose, but I think the little stuff I make for the little tractor is much more interesting. Well, these are lined up pretty well with the wheels here, but you know what it needs is something to keep it from sinking too deep when I lower it into the ground. This is the old wheel track cultivator I've used for some years. You can see it's got these real narrow points on them and the tines are pretty flexible. So I think the new one will do a much more thorough and even job. I'm going to swipe the wheels off this one and put them on the new one. There we go. Good enough for now. These are lock nuts for the little nylon insert that grips the threads so they don't unscrew themselves as the wheel turns. These wheels are going to go here to control the height that this thing drops into the ground, but there's no way to keep them there. Recycle pile strikes again. I think these are going to be alright until it's clear they're going to need to go for the final version. Well, in typical farm fashion, they're not going to go high enough, so I'm going to need smaller tires. So, oh well. That means we'll just go up and try them with no wheels and see what happens. Well, look at this. I made a kind of hilarious and pretty dumb mistake. So much for needing those wheels to keep the thing out of the ground. This is as far down as it goes, and it's not even in the ground. Apparently I had a mismeasurement somewhere along the way here. But at least for now, recycling pile improvisation saves the day. And we're off and running. Not the permanent solution, but good enough for today. Well, I really need to get those wheels set up so I can keep each side at the same depth, but well, it's getting near the end of the day, so I think I might get an errand list together and go to town and pick up some parts, including those wheels. So that's all that's going on the farm today. Thanks for watching.